Good morning, warriors. Fernando here, God's prepared warrior, and welcome to Wednesday, right? We're halfway through the week. I feel like days just kind of fly by. Um, we're either, quickly approaching middle of the week or, it's already Friday, right? So, anywho, some thunderstorms came through the area last night. There was thundering and lightning happening overnight. I woke up a couple of times to hear the rain, but it looks like here where I work in the hill country of Texas, that it got more rain than what I got where I live. And so um, I think we're still going to be seeing some of that the rest of this week. But as of right now, we have clear blue skies. So I'm pretty sure that'll be changing later on. Today, I want to talk to you. This kind of segues a little bit into that because, I travel for work every day, and it takes me about an hour to get to work because of traffic leaving the city, and it takes me about an hour to get back home when I'm headed home. And so there's a lot of play in that because there's distance, right, between where I work and where I live. And so you know I have to be prepared in the event that I need to get home and either the vehicle doesn't work or whatever that case could be, right? So I want to talk about that today because I think many of us spend hours, like literally hours every week on the road, right? If I'm to calculate that in my brain really fast, that's 2 hours a day. I work Monday through Friday, so that's 5 days. That's 10 hours on the road, right? A week. Calculate 4 weeks in a month. That's 40 hours on in the car, right? And we spend all of this time commuting, and that's just coming to work, right? That doesn't, for you guys, it could be even more, right? Um, you're traveling, but running errands, you're picking up family, you're commuting, through traffic, you're commuting through storms, you're commuting through construction zones and just unpredictable situations, right? Just like a while ago, I had a guy who was not paying attention and decided I'm going to come into the next lane where I'm at, right? So I honk to say, hey, I'm like right here, right next to you. Why can't you see me? And he immediately jerks back into his lane. And I'm like, I'm out of here. So you don't know how to drive. So I pass him up, get in his lane to keep going. And he decides to get mad because I called him out because he wasn't paying attention on the road, and he tried to bumper, what do you call it, ride my bumper, right? And so I just slowed down in the middle of a busy freeway, and yeah, I fixed the situation, right? But we're traveling, right, and we're in the vehicle all the time, in just crazy, unpredictable situations, right? And the truth is this: I think we need to understand this, because your vehicle may become one of the most important preparedness tools, right? I think about the situation that is unfolding, right, when it comes to the oil and all of that kind of stuff. And I was thinking yesterday, what if we couldn't use our vehicles anymore, right? What if the oil crisis really puts a damper on vehicle use, right? How are we going to get around, right? And I think that we don't really think about how much we rely on our vehicle, right? And so I think as God's prepared warriors, we should never assume that every commute is going to go smoothly, and we have to be prepared, right? Even when you're driving, you have to be vigilant. you can't just think that, the person that's driving next to you is paying attention. And I think this in me comes a lot because, I ride a motorcycle. And so I am always hyper vigilant when I'm on my motorcycle. And I think I bring it into the car, into this cage, because, people just really aren't paying attention all of the time. And so a simple drive can suddenly, just turn into severe weather, right? Just because, we've been having severe weather here. It could turn into road closure. It can turn into accidents. It can turn into, mechanical breakdowns. It can, we just had a tire go out on us on Sunday. So, it can turn into fuel shortages, right? And like we're seeing, or, even just being stranded for hours. And that's why preparedness should travel with you, right? I always have my get home bag with me. I have 3 bags. I have my lunchbox, my get home bag, and then my radio bag. And so, before I head out to work each day, all of that comes with me, right? And, and we have to ask ourselves, we have to think ahead a little bit, right? Because I'm this way all the time. Do I have enough gas in the tank? Is it full? I already go to 3/4 of a tank and then I refill again because of the gas prices, right? I always think to myself, do I even have water in the vehicle? That's an important thing to have in case you get stranded or your car breaks down, or Lord forbid, you didn't check your water reservoir and now all of a sudden your car is overheating because it didn't have enough water, right? Do you have those things? Do you have a basic some kind of medical supplies? And what if you have to stay on the road longer than expected, right? What if the weather suddenly changes? Are you prepared for that kind of a thing, right? I always say that my vehicle is my third office, right? Because I have an office at home, have an office here at work. And a lot of times I'm traveling in the car. And a lot of times I'm traveling in the company car, and traveling for work, right? So we have to think in that kind of a way, right? A prepared warrior prepares before the problem arrives. And that's how I think here. It's being ready, even in that situation of traveling from one place to another, right? So I want to give you a few things that, every warrior should keep in their vehicle, right? Because it's important. You should keep bottled water. It's not just for you, but it is for your vehicle too as well, right? You should have a flashlight, because what if you get stranded at night and you don't want to use your phone flashlight because that's going to use your battery faster, right? You need phone charging cables, right? For your phone. You need jumper cables, or maybe even a jump pack, right? Just in case, your car doesn't want to start, your battery is low, and you're able to get back up on the road, right? Maybe you need some gear, rain gear, right? Because all of a sudden it's, bad weather, and now you have a flat tire, and now you got to go change that. And it's always good to carry, some kind of rain gear or a poncho in your vehicle kit. And then snacks, snacks are always good. You can keep that in your get home bag. You're going to need basic tools just in case you have to do some kind of repair on the road for your vehicle, right? Even an emergency blanket is important to have, right? Backup communication options are important. All of that stuff, right? Extra medications if needed. That should be primarily, most of those things should be in your get home bag if you carry one with you, like I do, right? And then, of course, as I'm always doing, I'm always praying, that God get me to work safely, that there's he takes all the crazy people away from driving around me. And and so spiritually we have to be prepared too, right? Some of the best commute preparation that you can ever do is prayer, is actually praying and talking to the Lord as you are driving. So, ask God for wisdom, ask God for protection, ask God for discernment, right? And awareness, because that's important. Because, preparedness is not paranoia, it's stewardship, right? And your vehicle is more than transportation. It can become a shelter. It can become communication, mobility, and survival during difficult moments. So today, guys, ask yourself, if I get stuck away from home unexpectedly, would I be prepared? And that's an important question to ask. Would I have all of the things that I need to get through the situation that I'm traveling in, right? All right, guys, that's what I got for you today on this Wednesday. Don't forget, stay vigilant, stay prepared, right? Stay alert when you're driving, stay equipped, and have a great day, guys. Hope to see you on the next video. God bless.